Him is directed by Justin Tipping and is produced by Jordan Peele under his company Monkey Paw Productions, and it stars Tyriq Withers and Marlon Wayans, and is a sports horror film centered around football. Let's see what we got. A young athlete descends into a world of terror when he's invited to train with a legendary champion whose charisma curdles into something darker. This was one of my most anticipated films of the year, and I was going to try to go into this one as blind as I could, but I got the trailer for it in theaters last month, and I was like, crap. But I decided to go ahead and watch the trailer, and immediately I was hooked. Like, just by its premise. Like, a psychological football horror movie. Like, that just seems like my kind of movie right there. So, I walked into this one very, very excited. And I gotta say, walking out, I was really disappointed. Now, it's not to say I didn't hate this movie like everyone else seems to. A lot of people that I know personally really did not like this movie. I kind of enjoyed it. But compared to my expectations of how good I was wanting the film to be, this film did leave me really disappointed. But there are things I admired about it. But let's just get right to it. So, first things first, the cinematography and the production design look really, really good. Like, the technicals of this film, I think, are actually like the biggest standout of this film, or like why there's so much to admire about it is a lot of the technicals, particularly the visuals. Like, a lot of like the visual standpoints of this movie with some of like the X-ray shots that you see in this film. Not necessarily spoiling anything on that because you've seen some of it in the trailer. And also like a lot of the cool camera tricks that this film pulls off. Really cool stuff. And I think that's honestly like the biggest standout of this film are the visuals and the technicals. And also Tyriq Withers and Marlon Wayans are really great in this film. Especially Marlon Wayans, who I think might have pulled off one of his best performances. The dude is more known for his comedic shtick, like, you know, in like Scary Movie or Don't Be Menace to South Central. But this is a kind of film where he has his comedic charm, but also has this like really dark and serious kind of turn, which I think was honestly really something to behold for Marlon Wayans. Not to say he hasn't done serious work in his career, because he did Requiem for a Dream, but the reason why I'm saying he delivered one of his best performances is because he's super unhinged in this movie. Like, he kind of reminded me at points of Terrence Fletcher from Whiplash. That might be overhyping it, but I just kind of got vibes of that character because he's trying to, like, you know, push our main character to the limits to like become the GOAT. I thought that was something that was really cool about his character here. So Marlon Wayans I thought was fantastic in this film. And I will say the last 15 minutes of this film are pretty gnarly. Like, I was like, okay. But that kind of leans into my negatives here. The last 15 minutes of this movie literally had no buildup for what was actually supposed to happen. Like, they mentioned something like during this movie, not going to spoil it, but then once it gets to that last 15 minutes, I was like, wait, you mentioned this, but there was no buildup to that. What are you trying to do here? And also, the script for this movie was actually done by 3 different writers, and you can kind of tell, like, there was so many ideas that were trying to be shuffled around, and not really a lot of them really came to fruition. This film is really style over substance, which can be a pro and also a con at the same time, where it's like, I like a lot of the style, but then at the same time, you need some substance here. Like, this film is really insubstantial. But my biggest issue with this movie overall is the story. This film felt like it forgot to have a story. Like, there's really not much plot happening here besides this whole confrontation with these 2 characters. And also their chemistry is really freaking good, but there's not really much plot here. There's not really much of motivations of what really is going on. So that's ultimately my biggest negative with this movie, is that there's no story really to be had here. Like, yes, of course, like, it's the story of a guy who wants to be the GOAT of football, but there's really not much conflict between our 2 main characters. But once they really try to dive into it, it just feels like, oh, hey, we forgot to have a plot. Let's shove this in here. That's kind of what it felt like to me. So overall, I enjoyed this movie enough for what it was. It's not great. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it like a lot of people did. So with all that said, I'm going to give him a B-. Now I know that grade might seem really, really, really high for a lot of you, but I gotta be honest, I did not hate myself watching this movie. I would not mind watching it again. But let me know down in the comments below what you guys thought of the movie Him. Hit that subscribe button down below and that notification bell right next to it so you never miss a post. Hit that thumbs up and share this video. You guys know what to do. Anyways, guys, that's it for me today. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.